4 years ago, I, 17-year-old at a time male, joined a FIE D&D group that a friend of a friend invited me to. It consisted of 5 dudes, 2 of the guys being local mega neckbeards. The setting was pirate themed, and I decided since I haven't done this theme before, I'd try a new character. So I rolled up a female tiefling bard. All character aspects brand new to me, and intended on playing her as a very minor demon spawn who wanted to have your typical adventures on Earth and spread chaotic influence through the populations of the islands that they would visit through her music. The DM okayed the character, and on my first session, their 4th, they found me traveling through a cave system under a kobold-infested island. One of the neckbeards mentioned earlier's immediate response to seeing me was to attack my character with his spider, and was only stopped when the wizard cast Hold Person on him. There was a very minor argument out of game as to why he would kill another player, as he didn't have a reason why. Or at least that was what he was broadcasting to the rest of us. No in-character hatred towards tieflings, no barbaric rage, nothing. His fighter was settled down, and demanded that the only way I would be allowed to join them is if I surrendered my weapons and walked in front of the party as bait. Keep in mind, this party is majorly chaotic neutral, with a single chaotic good paladin. I argued that it would, out of game, ruin my play session as I couldn't cast spells or use my weapon, but none of the party would back me up against the fighter's demands. I eventually agreed, just eager to play, and we continued through the dungeon with me unable to provide any help. When we returned to above ground, I was allowed by the party captain to board the ship, with the other players and the NPC crew. We set sail for the kingdom that tasked us on clearing the island. We took a small break, and upon returning to the table, one of the other neckbeards was whispering to the DM. I thought nothing of it and sat down. Immediately upon starting back up again, the 2 neckbeards immediately said that they approached my character and said I needed to convince them not to have their way with my character. I was shocked. The other players were shocked too. I looked to the DM and he shrugged as if it was a fair question. Other than going, "What the what?" and "Are you serious?" I didn't have much to say. They said that they were coincidentally an all-male crew and they'd been on the ocean for a month, and I was basically a succubus. What the what? We argued out of game for a good 10 minutes, and the neckbeards and DM were eventually shouted down by the other players. I was sickened, but I thought it would be the end of it. That was the biggest creepy, horrible moment, but the rest of the night the DM kept putting negatives on my checks and made all the NPCs immediately hostile towards me because we were in an anti-tiefling town, and that didn't match the pre-existing lore. I got up from the table before the session ended and left. Both the neckbeards and DM obviously had some weird hatred for women, even if it was just a character in a game. It was by far the worst campaign I've ever been in, and I could only tolerate 1 session. Apparently the rest of the normal players left shortly after. I've been in 9 campaigns, and they were all diverse and fun, except for this one. And I've got no doubt that there are plenty of other horrible people like these running sessions. This is just bad. How much do you have to hate a gender to want to take advantage of one in a fictional game? That's a real power trip on an imaginary level. I shudder to think how this would have went if a female had actually joined the campaign. What do you guys think about this situation?